Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about self-care, and one way that you can practice it is using art. Self-care is necessary to remind yourself and others that you and your needs are important. So we're going to focus on self-care with some art. We're going to talk about 5 reasons on how art can be useful for self-care, and then later on we're going to look into a couple ways that you can practice using art for self-care. So the first reason to why art is good for self-care is that art enhances self-knowledge and self-expression. To make art is to make choices. To make choices requires paying attention to our inner selves as we assess which elements do and do not please us. Not only are we tuning into ourselves when we create art, but we are also expressing ourselves by making an external representation of our internal world. In doing so, we are acting upon a healthy belief that what is inside us is worthy of taking up space and being seen by others. Art is a way of defining and expressing identity. It can also be a way to solidify and expand our self-awareness. The second reason for art being a good self-care practice is that art connects us to others. When we show others our art, we are showing them ourselves. They may share with us how they feel when they see the art, and they also might ask how to become inspired to create their own artwork or find ways that we find it enjoyable. The third reason for why art and self-care are important is that art takes us outside of the limits of our bodies. Creating art changes and expands our minds, teaching us to be alert to the endless details of the world around us. Making art turns our attention outward. People creating art often describe a feeling of being in a pleasurable flow in which they lose track of time, worries, and bodily aches. When we have the experience of tapping into this flow, we gain access to creative part of our mind that continues to delight us even when we are not actively making art. So now I'm going to ask a question for the stipend requirements, and what was the second point of why art can be a good practice for self-care. We're going to go on to the fourth point now of why it is important, and art can help us focus on the process rather than the product. When we focus on the process, it can affect how we see ourselves. There are days that we hurt, days that we don't look our best, and days we feel dark. They are just pieces of our ever-evolving journey. We are always learning, growing, and surprised by life. We are a work in progress. And then the last one is we're going to start small and have fun, because if you think about it, when we gave children paper and crayon, they grab the crayons and color on the paper. They don't say, I'm not artistic, or I don't know how to begin. They say, yay, art, I'm gonna draw. For children, art is playing, and art should be fun and effortless for us as well. It does not matter if we are good at it or if we're not, but it does matter how art makes you feel. So those are just 5 reasons to why art can be a good practice for self-care. So I'm gonna have another video next Tuesday to show you guys a couple different ways of how we can use art to practice self-care. So see you guys next time.